Welcome. I'm Shavi. Welcome to Lotustemplar. Today we're going to be talking about some basic stuff about Buddhism. Get to know me, like why are we doing this? Who am I? Let's just chit chat. We're just going to chit chat about Buddhism. All right, so I'm Shavi. I am a Buddhist, right? Like, duh. I am a Buddhist. I'm currently working on my Master's of Divinity. So I will be focusing on a lot of meditation leading up to what it means to be like a Buddhist pastor. I'm also in the army. So I will be, after my whole program, I will become ordained and become a Buddhist chaplain for the army, right? And a little bit about me. I am the owner and founder of lotustemplar, and I'm just excited to be with you. I don't want to get all long when y'all gonna find out more about me later. That's just like the basic. I do have 2 little boys. I am married. My son's names are Zen and Chi. And then I have a dog, Chakra. I'm gonna introduce you to Chakra. She's new. So this is my Chakra. So you're gonna be seeing her with me a lot. So this is just the basic, introduction. I've been Buddhist for, let's say maybe 17 years. I stopped counting. I didn't grow up Buddhist. No, I grew up Muslim when I was with my mother in the summer. I was Christian. And I came back, when I came back from my father, like my mom was married and his family members were Jehovah's Witnesses. So I was like all up in a diversity bowl. So that's what shaped me who I am. But growing up, I chose Buddhism for myself to help me understand a lot of the stuff that was going on with me. Understanding the changes as far as the gifts concerned. I am clairvoyant, clairaudient. I'm a healer. I got a lot of stuff going on with me. So my journey into religion, or first it was spirituality and then it's like religion, was in a sense to understand who I am as a person, to understand what is going on with me. Now, I'm not going to be very long-winded, but I do want to give you a little bit of the background of, what is this all about. So recently, I experienced like some trauma, right? Some trauma in my life. And one of the moments that really shaped what I do and who I am and my commitment to this journey was my miscarriage that happened in April. And all the events that happened in correspondence with, having a miscarriage. And I had to stop and say, like, what am I doing here? Like, I was looking, at where I was, in the army and what I was functioning as. And in the army, I am a behavioral health specialist, and I've been that for 12 years. So a lot of my background does have to do with that behavioral health scene mixed with Buddhism, right? It's kind of like one and the same. They pull from each other. Really, behavioral health pulls from Buddhism. That's a whole nother story. So I was like, okay. After that, I was really deep in reflecting on like, what is this life that I find myself in, and what am I gonna do with it, and how many people are still here because I existed, and how can I help? That's the basic. And once I meditated on that, a lot of stuff just opened up. And stuff started becoming a little bit more easy. So I got I entered in my master's degree at Nairobi University, which I'm currently still in. So you're going to see a lot of videos relating to like more educational bits. I will put like references in the description box. But that's like the gist of what it is. And in order for me to become a chaplain in the army, I do have to be ordained. So I do have the support of the Buddhist Churches of America while I go through this journey. I'm inviting you to go through this journey with me. We're going to be learning together. It's hard. Oh, it's so hard. So my first retreat, I needed it. I needed it because, like I said, I've been through a lot of traumas that I just kept compiling and I wasn't getting out. So when I went on my retreat, that was a moment to really talk to myself. And what I concluded is that I was not present with myself. I was not nurturing myself. I wasn't building that loving kindness with myself. And then it was also beautiful to have that one-on-one instruction on what it means to be, Buddhist and sitting together. Because, growing up in the Bible Belt, there's no temples, right? There's some yoga studios, but there's no real temples. So a lot of the stuff that I've learned to be in Buddhism was, from the books that I read, and I read a lot of books. But I didn't have conversation with friends that were also Buddhist. I didn't have that sangha, that community to support. I was really doing it on my own. So as I'm in retreat, a lot of questions came up for me. And one of the biggest questions is, where is Africa? Where is Africa in the story of Buddhism? It's so close. It's so close to India. Why is Africa not in the story? It's you can't tell me in 2,500 years nobody walked to Africa, because you can walk from India to Africa. So then I started meditating on the origin of Buddha, and what I found was Buddha is black, right? So I'm what the heck? I can't believe this. So I ran to our monk, the monk that's in my course. He is a Sri Lankan monk, and he was yeah, Shavi, that's true. And I was what? Definitely had to meditate on that. And then I was meditating on what's happening in the world. Where's our answers? Can somebody explain this suffering that we are experiencing with, the earth mother within ourselves, within our spirits of different cultures? And, somebody needs to give us the story of this suffering. And then I started learning about the caste structure. And then I started learning more about the structures of Buddhism, and then how Buddhism is meant to heal intergenerational traumas, and going a bit deeper of honoring the ancestors, honoring yourself, going deeper and deeper and deeper, and asking those questions. But I have to warn you, when you ask those questions, be prepared for what's going to come up. Because when I came back from my retreat, my perspective wasn't matching my environment. I came back a totally different person, and I was grateful for it, but it's hard. Meditation is hard. Even though it's Shavi, you're just sitting. How is it hard when you're just sitting? It's hard when you have to see yourself, when you have to have that conversation with yourself, when you have to go through the deep part of life and face all the stuff that you've been running from. When you have to talk to yourself and not give yourself an out. To be real with yourself. That's the hard part. Now, for me, when I sit, sometimes freaky stuff happens. Well, it's happened to me when I was on retreat. I had little tornadoes, I was doing this, and then my eyes start rolling in the back of your head. So I'm saying this because if you got gifts, your gifts may become heightened. I freaked out just a little bit because it was a lot, and my instructor was Shavi, go with it, just go with it. And it was really hard to go into it, because that question is, what do you do when you realize you're powerful? What do you do when you realize you have these gifts? What do you do with that stuff when you no longer live in that reality that you thought you lived in? That's hard. Sitting is hard. Understanding your breath is hard. All that stuff is hard. Seeing yourself and not giving yourself an out is hard. But I'm here for you. Right? That's why we sit. That's why we're going to sit. And if you have questions, please reach out to me. I'm going to leave some information in the description below. Feel free to visit the website. I'm constantly updating. I'm constantly building it. It is lotustemplar incorporated.com. lotustemplar.com. I'll put that in the description below. And please, if you're viewing, I do ask that you sign in, so I know who it is that I'm reaching out. Once I lock in on you, don't be surprised if I call you up and like, yo, you good? I'm feeling some things, some energy. I'm just checking in. Like, are you good? And then also I am in, a master's program. So I do want to be able to show all the people that I am reaching. So I do ask for your support, and if you sign in and you think I'm going to spam you, I don't have time to spam you like that, right? I don't like spams. I'm not going to spam you. I'm not selling your information. It is really for me to keep record. If I do have some freebies, I'll send it out to you. I'll let you know, right? So with that being said, I'm just very grateful to be present with you, to start this journey. If you decide to start this journey with me, I am Shavi. I look forward to, just being present.